Hello and welcome, my name is Meeples, they, she, he, and this is Literally Graphic. And today we're doing the birthday tag! Of course, my exact channel birthday is actually in September, but I decided to take September off, so here we are. Link in description to the original tag video. Question number 1. How many years on BookTube are you celebrating? This is actually year number 6 for me. My first video, a TBR for September, went up on August 31st, 2015. My next video, a review of the graphic novel Sandcastle, went up the next day on September 1st. Like all good YouTubers, I've since privated all my videos up to a couple years ago. I did go back and re-review Sandcastle earlier this year, a choice that accidentally put me before more eyes than I was expecting, so that was rather diverting. Question number 2. What has kept you motivated to continue making videos? Not being a hugely popular content creator, so there's a lot of things that could potentially motivate me not to keep making videos. I did decide in my mid-20s that graphic novels would be my hyperfixation, so the rest is kind of history. It certainly helped me cope with COVID. It also gives me some room to tinker and feel like I'm slowly but surely improving at something. Question number 3. What are 3 of your favorite videos you've made in the past year and why? Well, it's certainly been an interesting year. This time last year, I had a buffer of videos prepared ahead of time. That was nice. I really hope to be able to grasp this comfort once more someday. But pick number 1 has to go with my first A to Z of Queer Lit Comics Part 1. It was a bit of a premature video. I wouldn't finish reviewing each of the books I had highlighted for several more months, but golly geez, was this a long time coming. While I thought I had been reading a decent number of queer graphic novels up to that point, they did not conveniently line up in alphabetical order for me. But such is life. Part 2 should be coming soon. Yay! Pick number 2 was probably Snapdragon by Kate Leigh, because it's such a lovely, adorable rural fantasy genderqueer title. That's all. And pick number 3 might go to Primo Levi by Matteo Mastragostino and Alessandro Rangischi, simply because the publisher sent me a copy when it came out without me asking for it first. Well, they asked me if I would review it, but you know what I mean. A first and possibly a last time that will ever happen, lol. Besides that, I really do love at least 85% of the videos I put out. Even if I don't actually like the book itself, every once in a while I give into the pressure of keeping up with my schedule, even when totally uninspired by the material. But that's certainly a level of satisfaction of a different kind. Question number 4. What have you struggled with on BookTube in the past year, and how did you overcome that struggle? I had to think about this one a little bit because this year has actually been pretty struggle-free as far as YouTube went, at least compared to everything else. I think trying to go up to 3 videos a week has certainly pushed me a lot. I'm trying to reach some compromises on that front. This month, I'm trying to do 3 not review Thursday videos and only 1 translation Thursday review, but we shall see. Moving along to question 5. Choose one moment from the past year on BookTube that you would love to relive. I think when I finally passed 500 subscribers, I never really thought I would hit it, and it still isn't that much in the grand scheme of things, but I appreciate all y'all. Question number 6. What's the best book you've read in the past year? I'm horrible at picking favorites, so I don't even know where to start. Ace, What Asexuality Reveals About Desire, Society, and the Meaning of Sex by Angela Chen was a 5-star nonfiction, non-comic read this year. Prism Stalker by Sloan Leong was a 5-star science fiction comic. And of course there was We're Still Here, an all-trans comics anthology, which I also rated 5 stars. So many stars, so little time. Wrapping up with question number 7. Where do you see your channel in a year's time? What do you hope to have achieved? I don't know. I've gotten pretty far by not expecting anything. A slow but steady increase of subscribers and views between now and then would make me happy, but we shall see. Tags to anyone else whose channel birthday is coming up. A giant thank you to everyone who watches these videos, especially those of you who actually comment on a bunch of them too. I'm still not the best at replying to them, but I feel like I'm getting better about this whole all-online social anxiety thing. And bye y'all, keep reading and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is created on land that should be given back to the traditional landholders, which in this case is, to my knowledge, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, non-Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation.